A dimly lit netball court that could be anywhere in the country. But while it might not look like much, it's in a very unique place. And one of these players is at the front line of the battle to save a critically endangered species. Robben Island. It's a quaint landscape with a well-known history. Less familiar is the island's role as a home to one of only 6 breeding colonies of African penguins in the country. And 29-year-old Yandisa Cwecwe is their guardian.
I studied marine biology and I had never seen penguins before I moved to Cape Town. So I fell in love with them. They're cute, but they're feisty.
Overfishing and climate change are having a significant impact on penguin numbers. Worldwide, only 14,000 remain.
Around 2007, we had more than 5,000 breeding pairs on the island. And now we are sitting at 923 breeding pairs.
Without help, the African penguin could be extinct in the next decade. It's Monday morning at Cape Town Harbour and we're waiting to board the ferry. We've been given a unique opportunity to spend a night on the island with Yandisa and her penguins.
We are so lucky to be on this ferry. They can be cancelled at a moment's notice if the weather turns bad, but it is a beautiful spring day and it's time to hop on board.
On board with us is Dr. Carte Blanche, a senior researcher at the Southern African Foundation for the Conservation of Coastal Birds, or SANCOB, with a special interest in the African penguin.
You've been studying penguins on the island for years. What are you noticing is impacting the population decline?
The main issue that we are currently facing is the lack of food. So these penguins feed exclusively on sardine and anchovy, or almost exclusively, and those stocks are really depleted. And at the same time that the stocks are already low, they're also competing directly with the industrial fisheries for these same species.
Robben Island is home to about 150 people, museum staff, ex-political prisoners working as tour guides, and occasional visiting researchers. There's a small church, a curio shop, a scattering of houses, and not much else.
I'm Erin. I'm Yandisa. Nice to meet you. Thank you for having us. So we're going to walk to your house. Be in your bakkie.
First, we head to the penguin colony, where Carte and Yandisa check the monitoring equipment. Most penguins on the island are microchipped.
Okay, can you try the other one? Because that one now is blocked, I think.
So how does that work? What were you guys doing?
So the penguins have a little chip like this underneath their skin. So when a penguin that has one of these chips walks over this readout, it basically just gets detected and it gets uploaded to a database. And then we actually can go back onto the database. We can see the bird that was rescued from 𝗬𝗪𝗀, hand-reared at St. Croix, released at Stony Point in 2019, and it's now clearly on Robben Island. Yeah, perfect.
The researchers use this data to track the penguins' numbers, which are declining rapidly.
Robben Island, like Antarctica, Siberia, and several other parts of the world, is a window into climate change and its impact. Here, the toll of global warming can be seen in the declining number of penguins.
Once in their thousands, now on the brink of extinction.
Can you talk about how climate change has affected the African penguin population?
Yeah, so climate change has quite a variety of impacts. For example, we see these heavy winter storms and rains, these big flooding events that we had this year, for example, but we also see more and more of these heat waves.
So the penguins, when it's stormy, some of the nests get flooded. So the penguins would leave their nest and then abandon the chicks. They also abandon the eggs.
This is where Yandisa comes in. She's the boots on the ground when floods and storms hit. She rescues abandoned eggs and sends them to Sankaree on the mainland, where the chicks are hand-reared until they're old enough to be released back onto the island. It's a daily routine. Yandisa knows every nest on the island, and she visits all the residents to check on the health of breeding adults and their chicks. She keeps a watch for sick and injured birds. Every penguin is precious.
Last week I rescued 2 penguins. The one was a chick that was underweight. The other one was an adult that was limping. And that adult was nesting. That means it was not able to go to sea to find the food for its chicks. The other nest that I found, there was an exposed nest. The chicks were wet and freezing. So I had to find brush-cut branches to protect them. When I went back to check that nest again, I found the chicks nice and warm.
What's that feeling like when you see chicks that would have died that you've saved?
So it's a good feeling. It's a nice feeling, yeah. And I followed that nest until the chicks fledged. When you scan the bed, you try...
I tried my hands to scan a parent sitting on 2 eggs.
No, don't. Mama. Just put it in. So before they fledge, we try to catch them and tag them. Don't mind him, just go.
Yes, just go.
Okay, yeah.
There we go. Okay, it's 1122. Last 3 digits, 985.
985.
Yeah.
So it's the different bed this week.
Okay.
So the other partner is out foraging.
Competition with commercial fishing boats means adults often can't find enough food at sea. Yandisa measures the weight and size of the chicks to check they're getting enough to eat.
This is how we hold the chicks, because they are still small. We don't want to grab them with their flippers or with their legs because they are still fragile. Make sure that the chick is away from the face because they can sometimes bite.
Okay, yeah. Here we go. First time holding a penguin. Oh, hello. And how old do you think it is?
It's 2 to 3 weeks old.
Facing starvation, some adults simply abandon their nests. The rest are forced to travel further and further in search of food.
Tortoise. Yeah, it's not quite a penguin, but it's gonna get there.
We head to the beach, hoping to spot adult penguins returning to land after a long day's fishing. Yandisa warns us to keep well clear, so we set up our cameras at a distance and wait. But before heading back to the house, we spot just 1 penguin reaching shore. Disappointed, we head home for a coffee.
Do you feel any connection with the political history of the island?
So I took that as a privilege for me to get to Robben Island, and there are still like ex-political prisoners that still stay on the island that do the prison tours. It's nice to chat with people who can tell me their experiences.
And while some of her neighbors keep the political legacy alive, Yandisa fights to save its natural heritage, sometimes sneaking in a game of netball before bed. It's 6:30 a.m. and we're hoping for better luck today. Camera 1 under the bushes and camera 2 is on the beach, on the lookout for penguins heading out to sea to hunt.
We got up at first light, set up 2 cameras, and hid in the bushes, waiting. It's an hour later, and we've only seen 2 penguins.
Yeah, there they are.
Seeing so few hunting adults brought the harsh truth home for us. There aren't many African penguins left, and the survivors travel so far for food that many don't return by the end of the day or ever.
I want to show you something unreal in Yandisa's house. This is a snapshot of the penguin population in 1931. Tens of thousands of them. And forecasts are that just 11 years from now, the entire world could be wiped of the African penguin population.
Even if it's cold, I make sure that I go out there just to make sure that the penguins are fine, because I don't want them to go extinct in future, so that our future generations can also see them.